the Wi-Fi decides to cut out. Awesome. Everyone, I'm so excited to do this live heart healing for business with you, and I'm excited to introduce Chantel just in a minute. What we're going to do today, we're going to take about 20 to 30 minutes, and I want to demonstrate how it actually works for me to tune into people's hearts, to read what I can see in there, and then to heal and activate the energy in someone's heart space. And then connect the messages to business, how we can invite and embrace more clients, more money, more flow of abundance. So I'm really excited to introduce Chantel today. Hello, Chantel.
Hello.
Is your video off, my lovely?
Oh, maybe
Is your camera off?
There we go.
There you are. There you
Here I
are.
am.
Beautiful face. Chantel is part of my in-person business networking club, so that's how we connected. And Chantel is no stranger to energetics and opening your heart, so she's just the perfect person to invite for today. Chantel, do you just want to briefly say, what do you do? I know your company is bioenergetics, right? You're an energy alchemist, and you help people basically to heal from the inside out, if I understand that.
It's basically I'm an energy worker or a light worker or a bioenergetics practitioner. So I combine all the energies, and we've got multiple systems in our bodies, combining those with technology as well as like hands-on stuff, just like Christine is going to do today. So very exciting to get a healing done by somebody else, because I'm normally giving it. So so this is exciting time. So yeah, that's what I do.
Wonderful, wonderful. If you want to connect further with Chantel, we're going to pop a link to her Facebook or Instagram or something.
Yeah,
in the
easy to
comments as
remember.
well.
ChantelFrench.com website.
Beautiful.
Easy, yes.
ChantelFrench.com. I love your last name too.
Yeah.
It's so easy and so beautiful. And you do weekly live healings as well, right? So
Yes.
it's a Friday morning for Australia and New Zealand, and it would be a Thursday afternoon or evening for the rest of the world, for the Western world. So if anyone is interested in that, make sure you go to ChantelFrench.com. And I'm excited to do a healing for you today, as you are usually taking care of other people. And I've heard that so much in the past few weeks since I've really started promoting the heart healings, that healers have come to me and said, Christine, finally someone is doing for me what I do for other people all the time. And so the beauty of it is, usually in a heart healing, we would not be meeting on Zoom. We wouldn't have an appointment. This is the best part. People always ask me, so when do you have time? When can I schedule it? And I'm like, you're all taken care of. There's nothing for you to do, just one tiny thing, literally just 1 minute of your day for you to invest. And we don't need to sit in front of each other or be in a meeting or schedule an appointment. You know how energy works, right? It's all subconscious. It's all in the body. We don't need to see the person at a certain time of day. Sometimes it's actually easier when the other person is asleep and has no resistance to whatever work we're doing. My hair is all over the place, but that's me. So how it works is, I'm going to give you some instructions in a moment just to raise your frequency and open your heart space. And I've got those instructions for anyone who's interested in a heart healing. I've got those instructions in a YouTube video as well, where you can go through what it is about. Why am I doing this? How did I come to do this? What the heck? And why would I need it for my business? Why may my heart space be blocking me to call in cash and clients? But for today, just briefly, what happens is I'm going to give Chantel a little instruction in a moment. And then I simply, from my heart space, connect energetically to Chantel's heart space. So I'm going to tune in, I'm going to see an image. So it's a clairvoyant ability that I have developed over the past couple of years. I'm going to tune into your heart space. I'm going to see images. I then receive messages on how to interpret these images, and I have the ability to make changes to things, add a bit of heat, add a bit of love, turn things into different shapes or forms so that the energy flow is restored and we can actually do a healing. So what I would like for you to do, beautiful Chantel, is if you feel drawn, you can close your eyes, but you can just diffuse your gaze a little bit if you want to, and just focus on your heart space. Slow down your breathing, focus on your heart space. And all you need to do, really, this is the best instruction in the world, is just focus on appreciation and gratitude in your life, and just blow up those feelings, those moments that can be something that's happened in your life, that can be a beautiful start to the day this morning. It could be the sunshine outside. It can be big or small things in your experience that you would like to think of, that pop up, that present themselves, that really brings you into a space of calm and peaceful and just bathing in gratitude and appreciation. And what this does is it raises our frequency and it opens energetically the heart space. And when you do that for a minute, that's all I need to be able to connect. That is all that is required for you to remove any energetic resistance. So Chantel, from who she is and what she does, obviously doesn't have a lot of resistance. So I went for a walk a couple of days ago, and there was actually already images coming through, knowing we would have this live heart healing demonstration today. So I've got a hint of where we're going with this. And then I will tune in and I will share with you what I'm seeing, what I'm picking up on, what I'm doing. You might see my hands moving to swirl some energy around. And usually what happens when you book a heart healing with me is that I do this on my own. I'll send you the instructions through to open your heart space. You do that, and then you send me a message that just says, done, thank you, completed. And then I know I can go in, do the heart healing, and I'll send you a voice note on Messenger with all the findings, everything I did, and recommendations afterwards. So it's the easiest thing to do ever, the easiest non-appointment ever. This is how the heart healings work. Okay. Beautiful. Anybody is watching live right now? I know there are some people live. Hi, Angela. Hi, Sydney. If you have any questions in between, feel free to pop them in the chat, and I'm happy to answer them as well after the activation. And I'm going to pop in the link to the overview as well. Okay. Are you ready, Chantel?
Yes, go for it.
Let's
Exciting.
dive in. I'm so excited. All right. So all I'm doing is I'm closing my eyes and I'm visualizing you. And then again, I'm just shifting my focus into your heart space. And I open my heart center to be able to connect with you. And very often how I start the activation is by just opening my hands and creating an energy exchange. So what's been coming through on my walk a couple of days ago was this beautiful meadow, this beautiful little green little piece of grass. And the images for each and every heart reading, if you've had one with me before and you're watching live or you're watching the replay, every heart reading is completely different. We had so much stuff. We had an oasis in an underground cellar. We've had a heart with a splinter in it. We've had a heart with the catheter and dark energy trapped under glass. We've had so many different readings. We had a girl standing on a broken wall. Like every single reading is completely different. So what I'm picking up from Chantel, and Chantel, we've been in our business networking club for a year now together. But I actually don't know much about you. Like, that's the funny thing. I don't know a lot about you, right? You've had some things happening. You've been traveling. You've been to the States. And so personally, the thing that I know about you is that you have gone through a marriage breakup recently. And that is the thing that helps me to interpret what I'm seeing. So I'm seeing this piece of lush grass. And in the grass is extremely fertile. There's so many nutrients. There are all these little living beings right on the surface of this grass. And this grass is trying to come through. And there's these little beings and mushrooms and almost like bright colors and sparkly. And there's so much. The ground of your heart is incredibly fertile. And there is so much wanting to come through in terms of gifts, in terms of business, in terms of serving people, in terms of creation in your personal life as well. What I'm seeing is travel. What I'm seeing is, I know you've recently just moved, so there might be another move, but I'm seeing it's just so fertile. Your life, it's really, your life is your oyster. Like you are the definition of that. The reason these things are kept quite small and they're trying to come through the ground, all these beautiful, they're almost like fairy mushrooms. They're like the most beautiful things you could imagine. They're pink and glittery and they've got swirls and they're just gorgeous, but they're not quite coming through. And the reason for that is there is something that is right now putting this piece of grass in the shade that is blocking the sun a little bit. There's a little bit of sun coming from the side on a certain part of the day, but basically there is a steel beam, and that's the word I had to look up before we started the session. It's like when you imagine in a building, in a big multi-story city building, office building, right? There are these massive steel beams. And one of these steel beams has not collapsed, but just more gently collapsed kind of from a structure that was once there. And what I'm seeing, knowing about you, you've gone through this marriage breakup, is that that steel beam represents emotions. And so from a structure that was there, that slowly and gently, I don't know this about you, but this is what's coming through, that slowly, gently changed its shape and form. So what I'm seeing is there wasn't one big moment. It was not one major crash or anything majorly in a moment that happened that led to that breakup. It was more about just a gentle, slow shift in energy. And that's what that steel beam represents. And so the steel beam represents your emotion, and it's solid and it's heavy. Like I couldn't lift it. This is what we're using energy for. And the way I work is very gentle. So I'm not trying to pull things or move things or push things. I'm trying always to find the most gentle way in order to make this healing easy on you, to not disrupt your day too much while still getting the maximum benefits of the healing. So I'm seeing this steel beam that is kind of like this wedged over that extremely fertile piece of grass. And so it's putting this piece of grass in the shade, and this ground is so fertile that there are still things wanting to come through. There's still, the grass is growing. There's some mushrooms, some tiny little fairy mushrooms growing, and there's sparkles, and it's really pretty. Like it looks like a little fairy meadow, a fairy meadow if you want. So like it's super cute. We're just about to wait for the fairies to come. But the light is blocked off. And so we want to tune in to the steel beam and what's going on there. So it feels there's a lot of emotion trapped in there. And that is natural. That is normal. It's nothing that would be out of the ordinary. There's nothing too heavy in there. It's just a natural process that you're going through right now. And I'm just going to, it's asking me just to swirl a little bit and swirl, because trying to lift that steel beam, I wouldn't be able to do that. Like I would hurt myself in the process and it would be extremely uncomfortable for you. But it's asking me to just send some energy and just twist it around a bit. And what I'm seeing is what we're actually able to do here. And you might feel in your heart space a little bit of a flicker, right? You might feel this in your heart space. You might feel this in your energy field where you really notice like, ooh, feels like I'm about to burp. Maybe something like that. Just a little bit of movement of energy. And what I'm feeling is that actually the very fine little fibers in the steel, we can move them and we can turn them into something like steel ropes. And so what I'm noticing is that they're changing shape when I start moving them, when I start moving that steel and add some energy. Beautiful. And so all the little fibers in the steel, well, the steel has fibers, but it's turning into fibers with the energy that I'm adding. You might feel that you want to allow some airflow into your heart space. It might feel a bit tight. It might feel a bit uncomfortable. And I'm feeling that, like there's some pressure that is being released. Pressure being released. And we're turning the steel into steel ropes. And so what we're doing, we're actually adding flexibility. So it looks like just a big, thick piece of rope right now that is made up of these hundreds and maybe thousands of fine, fine steel ropes. Like when you play tug of war, one of those things, right? Just it's made of steel. So we've added some energy, we've added some warmth to it. And what I'm feeling is you should be feeling the energy flow from your mind, from your head down, circling through your entire body, because we are bringing some emotions into movement. And what I'm feeling, what we want to do here is bring them an outlet. And because I know about you that you are well reflected, you're in the healing space, you've been on a big personal and professional journey. For you, all that is required is just to take deep breath, and then from your heart space, breathe into your heart space, and then breathe out. Just a big breath out through your mouth and just release those emotions that I am going to put into motion right now. And this is all that is required for you right now to release that energy. And you might feel like your breath goes all the way down to your sacral area, to your womb area. And you might feel that there's trapped emotion and trapped energy moving up from there as well. There is I feel a feminine energy coming through here that wants to be activated, that's been suppressed. Whether that was actively suppressed in your marriage or whether you interpreted you needed to suppress it to stay in that marriage for the sake of the things that you've built together. I believe you have children together. So it feels like you have suppressed a major part of your feminine energy in order to stay just comfortable in that marriage. And we're going to activate that a little bit. So that steel rope now, those steel ropes, they warm up and melt with feminine energy. So we're going a little bit deeper here. And I'm going to shift so I can demonstrate that so you see what I'm doing. We're just going to really move the energy from your sacral area, from your womb, and we're moving this up. And all you need to do is just take these deep breaths. Always breathe out through your mouth, because that is where the energy that is no longer serving you, that is stale, it feels very, very stale energy coming up from the way you have carried yourself in order to keep everything just nice and just comfortable for your family, which was an incredibly generous gift to your children and to your husband as well. He probably can't see that, but it was an incredibly generous gift. But now we're coming back to you and we're activating that feminine energy. Ooh, and I sense a bit of discomfort in your sacral area, and it's just like, oh, I'm not sure I want this. I'm not sure I'm ready for this. What am I going to do with it? I haven't done anything with it for a while. What am I going to do with my feminine energy? And so what I suggest you do as part of this healing afterwards is practice swaying your hips to feel your feminine energy and to activate that part of yourself again. So it can be as simple, what I suggest for my people to do. Hello, everyone. I see there's a lot of you watching, but what I suggest for my people to do, why can't I dress myself today? Okay, is simply to sway your hips from side to side. And that can be when you're in a supermarket, right? Imagine you've got your best music on and just use your hips, focus on your hips whenever you can, while you're cooking food, while you're standing in the shower. And that's all that I want you to do for right now. So there is really, in order to complete this healing or do this healing and get to your next level in your evolution as a woman, as you as a woman, there is nothing major for you to do, as in, I need to start this thing now, I need to join this group, there's no major life shift. It's really just gently activating that energy in you and allowing that feeling, how that is building up. It's a little bit like when you're boiling water in a pot and there's a steam coming up, right? And that's your energy moving, and that's all you need to focus on. Say for a couple of weeks and then check in with me again. So, and what that does, we're coming back to the steel because the healing is not done yet. What that does to the steel, it's actually, I'm seeing the steel, those steel ropes turn pink, gentle, beautiful pink, and they soften, almost like Play-Doh. And now we can work with them. Beautiful. This is what we needed. Now we can work with them. So what are we going to do with them? What shape? Like, let's make this interactive. What shape would you want this big steel tug of war, Play-Doh, pink Play-Doh? What shape would you want that to be?
Probably a circle.
Circle, beautiful. So what I feel, what would nurture you the most right now is we're just taking this piece of very, very fertile grass in your heart, and we're building a massive, big circle around that with that pink Play-Doh, really, that it's steel turned into. And we are just moving that all the way around that big grass. So you've got a big area there, about half a football field or half a rugby field, as we say in New Zealand. Switching from football to rugby, from Germany to Kiwi terms here. So half a rugby field of grass you've got there right now to play with. And this is your safe play area. This is your safe play area right now, where you can play with your feminine energy, where you can allow in the light, and where you can just sit and watch those little fairy mushrooms grow. And they are growing, oh my God, they are growing already because they are receiving the sun now. The sun is coming in, and like they're growing fast. Holy moly. It's like these little tiny little mushrooms, they're growing into tree-sized mushrooms. And I'm seeing fairy houses. I've never seen fairy houses in art activation before. I'm highly excited about that. And what I'm seeing in these fairy houses, they basically populate themselves. Like they are little fairies and people in there. So what I'm seeing is, through the activation of your feminine energy, people will be drawn to you. And this is happening in many of my activations. Like a soulmate boyfriend from the age of 14 who's reaching out to a client who's now in her late 30s, right? People, family members who people haven't had contact with in months are knocking on the door, this kind of stuff. And this will happen to you. Like, I'm feeling humans being pulled towards you, humans coming to you. So we turn these little mushrooms into big mushroom fairy houses. And I see people coming in, and I see you feeling safe. And this is the whole purpose of the heart healing. I see you feeling absolutely safe and grounded to allow people into your heart space, because you have that energetic pink Play-Doh around your piece of grass. So you know, if someone doesn't feel aligned, you're safe to move them out of your safe zone, basically. So you're owning your feminine energy, you're trusting your feminine energy. And that is something that I feel in your marriage, you had to push down a little bit. You had to just soften and water down a little bit, not be too feminine, not be too soft, not be too open in a physical sense as well, not be too feminine. And this is a very exciting time for you right now where you are reclaiming that. Holy moly, that lawn that is growing, that is wild. There's stuff happening, there's opportunities coming, and there are clients moving towards you, as well as very, very aligned women moving towards you, noticing now that your energy field is open to receive these women, and you don't need to be afraid anymore that they activate something in you that you actually trying to keep quiet, right? Energetically. So there will be a lot more, yes, people come in. So in terms of your business, what that relates to, in terms of your business, what that relates to is swaying the hips, allowing warmth. I'm just creating a bit of warmth here to allow things to grow even better. We've got the sun, we've got the warmth, we've got the fertile ground that you are bringing naturally, and that's always been there. It's just been not activated in the most potent way. And so what I'm seeing in terms of clients is the feminine energy is coming through as well. The feminine energy is coming through. So when you allow yourself to be more feminine, whatever that means to you, whether that means swaying your hips and just noticing, what am I feeling drawn to today? Wearing glittery shoes, or getting my nails done, or putting a bright lipstick on, like you're wearing red lipstick, which is great. You're on a journey. But these kind of things, just allowing to really embrace your feminine side. And when you bring that through in your healings, there will be an ever so gentle, ever so slight softening happening in your voice. And people pick up on that subconsciously, and people will feel nurtured by you and nourished by your messages and your I know you're downloading codes for people, you're sending codes to people, and it just gives that another edge, another level of magic, right? Your work is amazing, I know that. And the power of what you do is incredible, and people keep coming back to you for all sorts of things. But we are adding the human feminine element into your work with your feminine energy. And so people connect to you on a human level more as well. And so they're like, I need to come back because I need to come back for the healing, but also for I'm getting something from this person. I feel drawn to this person. And so that's the layer for people that I love to add, right? We're healing the human self so that our spiritual gifts and our heart-centered gifts, that they can be amplified, and we can invite more cash and more clients.
Awesome.
Okay.
I can feel it.
You might feel it everywhere in your body, because we started in your heart and then we swirled down. And so you might be feeling the energy swirling up, and it will be like, oh, it feels a bit warm down there too. I love that.
Oh yeah, I'm buzzing everywhere. So
I love it. It's
all
so
my
good for
feels.
everybody watching. I never know what comes out of the heart healing. Like, it could go anywhere. I was talking about one of the ladies a couple of days ago being Cleopatra, and so we're calling her Cleo behind the scenes. It's just amazing. So you might feel the energy, and just notice that heat. So that's basically your homework for 2 weeks, and then check in with me in 2 weeks. Maybe a week will be enough. Yeah, do a week. That'll be digestible. In a week, check in with me in a week. Just DM me. But just, focus on moving your hips. And when you feel there is heat, energy and form from heat in your sacral area, in your womb area, just notice that and just pay attention. There's nothing for you to do. It's just about, oh, it's warm. Oh, there's energy swirling. Okay, what does that feel like? Maybe it feels like I don't know, maybe it feels like water, maybe it feels like a tornado, maybe it feels like whatever comes up. Just notice that. There's nothing for you to interpret. There's nothing for you to do about it. There's nothing for you to go and do from there. It's just about getting to know your body and the energy flow in your body. So this is you for the next week, and then we are catching up again behind the scenes. Everybody watching it, Chantel and we're catching up behind the scenes. It's not something we're going to share.
I'll tell you the finer details. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. Let me know how this
Interesting.
landed for you. How are you feeling? Just give us a little
bit of background on me, because Christine doesn't know anything about my past. So correct, I have had a cold block in my abdomen nurturing solar plex base, or we call it a navel chakra, forever. So that makes sense. The feminine energy has been suppressed for a very, very long time, not in this lifetime, but in other lifetimes as well. So bang on there. So great to get that activated again, because it has been suppressed. Throat, you mentioned the throat before. I've had past lives as well that have throat issues. So that's been cleared recently, and so more cleansing will be required for that. So yeah, bang on. I can't believe it. And the fairies, the mushrooms, the amanita mushrooms, or the fairy mushrooms, very, very, very good for you. And they're all about information, knowledge, and they share. That's how they share information. So it just makes complete sense. The meadow and the fairy and the mushrooms, they're all about information at that level. I just got confirmation. Yeah, I'm onto it. So there you go. So don't be afraid of amanita. They're very powerful healers and knowledges. So yeah, well done. I can't believe it got all that out of that.
Ooh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, and definitely the suppression, definitely it's been a long time of being suppressed and not being able to find myself. And I'm just finding myself now. So it's been a long road. So everybody's got their own journey, and definitely so Christine picked up on that. So well done.
Wow, that's exciting. It's just coming through me. I'm just sharing. So this is really exciting. And I feel with your throat, that clearing will be massively supported from the energy moving up, because it needs to move up. Whatever is clearing in your throat needs to move up. So just focusing on the throat will maybe even push parts of that block down. So you need to move energy up. So that's what's coming through. So great. Of the meaning of the mushrooms. I didn't know that, but it makes total sense, because you are connecting energy and information like all over the place.
That's what I do. I mean, super connected of energy, so, or information, and different realms. So it totally makes sense, the fairy realms. So they're so energetic. You can see my throat's breaking up now. So that's clearing.
Coming up.
So,
I'm feeling that too. Great.
So cool.
So whenever you feel like that, just notice the energy moving up, like really focus on that. It's like, oh, this is coming up. Deep breath. Beautiful. Oh, fantastic. This was so much fun. I enjoyed this so much. Thank you for being our little guinea pig and being the first of hopefully quite a few live heart healing demonstrations. And this is
thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Oh,
amazing. You. Thank you. Yeah, you're very onto it. So bang on.
So good, so good. This is so much fun. And so I'm integrating that more and more in my business, where I'm noticing that especially women who come to me who've made good money in corporate, in their previous job, in other businesses, and then they start their soul business and they're like, why can't I make the money that I want? Why can't I create the overflow? What is it? And they've usually done all the strategies, and they've usually signed up with the coaches, and there is something. And what I've noticed working with over 100 people in business now, mainly women, over the last 5 years, is that really that many of us, we have a block in our heart, because where our gifts originated was we didn't grow our gifts in order to sell them, right? It's not like you open a shop and you're like, okay, I'm opening the shop, I'm stocking the products in order to make money. We didn't develop our gifts in order to make money. So there's a real switch that needs to happen in order for us to go, okay, I need to heal on a human level what is underneath, what led me to my spiritual gifts, so that I don't resist the money anymore, that I give myself what I need on a human level. And then, yeah, okay, let's invite the money now, because I feel whole and complete and taken care of on a human level, giving that to myself. So very exciting. chantalfrench.com if you want to learn more about Chantal and her amazing gift. And I will pop into the chat there where you can learn more about the heart healing.
Very powerful.
All righty.
Yeah.
Yes, Angela, I see Angela, you're looking forward to yours. That is wonderful. Hello everyone. Please feel free to comment how you found it, what you've taken from it, what surprised you, what you've got. Simona, my lovely, we are meeting in 20 minutes from now for our group call in the Quantum Sisterhood. You did not get mixed up. You did not miss anything, my beautiful. We are meeting in 20 minutes from now. Simona is in my membership, the Quantum Sisterhood, and we're going to have a Q&A call in a moment. So beautiful ladies, that was it from us for today. Sending you all so much love. And if you want to know more about heart healings, DM me directly. Or for everyone on the replay right now, I'm going to put the link in the comments so you can watch a little video on how it came about and what it is about and all of the things. I'm going to